All right. Hello, everybody. It is an XGR special here where E3 is going on last couple days. So we figured we would get together and talk about the different conferences and the different stuff shown. This podcast right here is going to be about the Microsoft E3 bless you, conference.
And we also have a new format for XGRs.
Yay.
This means it's the same thing, but we don't have to waste time editing, so we can get the news out for you before it's outdated in 2 days' time. So, woo, new format. Did you want to introduce us?
Yes. So with me today, as you could probably tell, is Chris, aka the Mole.
Thank you, thank you.
And Anastasia Laserbeam.
Woo! Oh, fuck you! Fuck you! I knew you were gonna do that too.
I won't do that again to you, I promise. I just had to do it once.
I knew you were gonna do that too.
And we were also going to be joined by Chris Bell, but sadly he's not available right now.
Oh my god.
But yes, the E3 thing. Lead us away, Rick. Lead your soldiers through the trenches.
Okay. I guess first thing I'll throw out there was probably for me the most exciting part of there. I'm just gonna start with a bang. Was when they showed a trailer for the new Crackdown game, and I was so excited because like at first I was listening to it and I'm like, oh, okay, and then you hear the guy talk and I'm like, oh, that guy, I've heard him before, and then he's like, for the agency, and I'm like, oh, it's Crackdown, and I was so stoked because that is the first Crackdown is probably the most underrated game on the Xbox 360. Love that game.
Let me guess, from the sounds of that, don't think I saw the Crackdown. That might have been, I had to go to the toilet during part of it, but I saw part when I came back on because I hadn't played Crackdown. But did they do the thing like that's starting to annoy me with the trend with video games? The first time it was cool. I know they did the same thing for something I'm going to mention later on, but during this conference, but where it's like, here is a game you probably don't care about because you haven't heard of the character. Yeah, you have. Applaud. Dance, monkeys, dance.
No, it wasn't like that. It basically started out and it was just showing some of the city, and you see like a hover drone basically going, and I was
nice.
I didn't know what it was, and then you hear the guy talking, and then he's something about the agency, and I was like, oh, it's Crackdown, and then the bad guy basically shoots the drone, and then he's like, well, you better go out there, agents, and then they have to take down this guy, and he's in a skyscraper, and so basically it's they show I don't remember which was first, but they show like a sniper looking at him, and then they show a guy driving a tanker truck that's covered in like landmines or like
Nice.
C4, and I'm like, yeah, that's Crackdown.
Nice.
But yeah, I don't know how much of it's going to be indicative of the final game, but they basically destroy a building to fall into that guy's building to kill him. And I was like,
Nice.
if it is destructible environments, that would be probably the most amazing game. Because like Crackdown was good, but you couldn't really destroy buildings. So
I do like destructible environments.
yeah. And so I didn't catch this when they first showed it, but they said that it's actually being worked on by Platinum Games, who made Bayonetta and other ones like that, like Revengeance and stuff. And I'm like,
And Bayonetta too.
Yeah, well, I meant Bayonetta. Sorry, when I said Bayonetta, I meant the series, not just the first one. But yes,
I know,
should
but
have clarified.
I was joking because you couldn't think of another game forms. I was like, Bayonetta 2.
Oh, I got you. Revengeance and I remembered some of the other ones. They do some actually. Oh, shoot. The one on the Wii U that Marcus likes.
Wonderful 101.
Yes, thank you. Wonderful 101. So I'm hoping it won't be quite as demanding as those games where they really wanted exact timing. I hope they keep the kind of loose nature of the game, how it didn't really matter if you died, it respawned you and you ran out again. But it'll at least look really pretty, and I imagine it will be very over the top and crazy, which will be awesome.
Nice. Yeah, and I knew you liked the Crackdown series. I hadn't played the first one, but it did look good, if that makes sense. It was just one of those games I didn't get a chance to play.
Well, I think one of the problems with that game was it came with the Halo 3 beta or demo or whatever it was before it was available, and a lot of people bought Crackdown because of it, and they literally never played Crackdown. They only bought it so they could play Halo 3, and
Yeah.
it's like, no, just at least play the game. It's really good.
I also think part of the problem with the first game not getting the right exposure is, from the sound of it, it sounds like an amazing game.
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible they launched it at the wrong time? The reason I mentioned the wrong time is at the same time we got Crackdown and a bunch of other stuff. That's around the same time Xbox was doing stuff like Bomberman Act Zero, and it was all these heroes that all looked very similar in mech suits. And playing Act Zero, I was like, yeah, okay, that's put me off these mech suit looking dudes.
Bomberman doesn't have a mech.
No, he did on Act Zero. He literally looked like Master Chief.
Okay.
That was completely wrong. But I was saying, you know what I mean? At the timing, it's like if everyone got sick and tired of zombie DLC and you had a great zombie game, it's gonna get buried. I wasn't sure if you agreed with that or if that was.
It could be, because I mean it was like open world. It was kind of like not exactly like Grand Theft Auto. It was basically Grand Theft Auto with superpowers, but maybe, yeah. So maybe Infamous was around that time. So yeah, maybe it could have been that there were other ones like it, and people were like, oh, just play that.
I was just talking about how the character looked, because Crackdown to me didn't fit the same mold as Infamous, because when Infamous was out, it was Prototype v Infamous.
Yeah. Well, I think they came out a little later, but to me they're very similar. Just how they played, because I mean you got superpowers. It was basically Crackdown felt a lot like the early stages of Saints Row 4, like before you get the ice powers and stuff, like when you had the glide and the super jump and the super fast run. That's how Crackdown was.
Nice. I will admit, if I ever get an Xbox One, I probably will end up buying that. That does sound like cool. That does sound cool.
It was really fun.
Although you mentioned it's like Infamous and it doesn't have coal, so no buy.
Well, you can't climb. You can't climb in the same way that you can in Infamous, but there's a lot of verticality, like jumping up to buildings and crazy stuff like that.
I didn't expect the climbing in Infamous, because Infamous he's just a regular dude with lightning powers. But what I saw at Crackdown, didn't he have like a jetpack and shit from the first one? Because it was like phew over the fucking buildings, or was that just in the trailer? I seem to remember something like that with Crackdown, because I remember seeing it after I'd got rid of my 360. I was like, I kind of like that look of that.
He didn't have a rocket pack. The second one had a wingsuit, and they had rocket boots that you could buy as DLC.
It might be the second one I saw.
Yeah.
Nice.
The rocket boots were awesome, but the wingsuit was like, it was a decent addition, but it was kind of hard to master, because it was like that you have to go down then up, kind of like the raccoon in Mario 3. With the cape. And it was kind of hard to work, but the jet boots were well worth buying, because you could just fly up, whatever.
Nice. Yeah, Crackdown does sound cool.
Yeah. I really like that game, so I was very excited to see that, because I was hoping we'd get a third one, and when the guy's like, oh, we said we'd show you Crackdown, and we did, and I was like, oh yeah, he did mention, oh, there will be Crackdown, but it's one of those things where like you don't take him seriously. You're like, oh, sure, there's going to be Crackdown.
Did they at least use your adorable little bald-headed logo that you've got right here in this chat right now to at least show it and be like, are you watching? Are you watching? Crackdown!
That would be awesome. Or just put that head on one of the agents. Like, you can get the Richter Hammerhead. I'd be like, pre-ordered.
Just shows that and it goes, Richter, you watching? And then you just see the guy put tape over that and goes, we're shutting up. We're ready for your money. Boom! It shows it.
Well, I told my wife, I was like, when that comes out, I want to go buy the game so I could be like, Crackdown is a system seller. Confirmed.
Nice.
But yeah, that was my first one. So anyone else want to take it away with something they liked or disliked?
I'll go, because I kind of mentioned it a little bit in that.
Mm-hmm.
Rise of the Tomb Raider. The sequel to Tomb Raider, the reboot version.
Tomb Raider, not Tomb Raider.
Yeah. And they've promised, more tombs are going to be back in Tomb Raider for it. Thank fuck. Because I loved the reboot Tomb Raider, but my one problem with it was the tombs were entirely optional. And for me, Tomb Raider is sort of like Prince of Persia, which if you've ever listened to the show, you know I've been playing them. But basically, I love that element of having to solve the puzzle of the room and then advance. The reboot didn't have that element. I felt like it lost part of what made Tomb Raider Tomb Raider, but it's back. But the reason you go, Laserbeam.
No, I was just saying, and it's Island Raider. This one will be Tomb Raider.
Yeah. And I find it great that she's in therapy in the story mode for all the shit she went through in the first game, because there was like the emotional scene of her first kill, which I hate to say, which some people will disagree with, because story. That her first emotional kill was great. However, I felt it was completely underwhelming by the fact straight afterwards you then killed like a whole bunch of dudes one after the other when they all came after you. And it's like, you can't go from, oh my god, I killed someone, to I must kill everyone. But I like the therapy element, that looks cool. But the reason I said I mentioned that before, the reveal trailer for this, she had a hood on, you didn't know who the fuck she was, and you were like, oh, okay, do I care about this? And it's like, you may possibly care about this. Boom, Tomb Raider!
Yeah.
And the second they showed Tomb Raider, all I could think was...
That's funny.
But how about you, Geeky Girl, if you saw the Tomb Raider, that one?
Actually, yeah, I bought the Tomb Raider one twice, so I played on the PS3, and I liked it. It's like a whole lot, so the second one should be fun. Not the multiplayer one with the chibis, but this one looks fun.
The multiplayer one, whatever the fuck it's called, does look kind of fun. I don't know if Rick just saw that one. Because I don't remember at the press conference.
I didn't see that.
It looks like Diablo with Tomb Raider characters.
Is it a sequel to Guardian of Light?
Yes, but done right.
Okay.
I don't mean it in an insult by that. Everyone I know said Guardians of Light, which is kind of true, was a great concept. It just wasn't executed to its potential.
Yeah.
This one looks brilliant. After this, you need to see the trailer. It looks amazing. Well, I believe Anastasia would say it looks... Wait for it.
No, don't say it.
Amazeballs!
I hate you.
Yay!
I hate you so much.
A drum roll followed by amazeballs. I'm sorry, but no, that looked kind of cool. So that was my one. Over to Pew Pew for the weather. I have to stop making that joke during these radio shows.
Alright, so this is the Microsoft one still, right?
Yes.
Okay. So the Sunset Override.
I'm just going to help you out for a sec, Stace.
Mm-hmm.
Everything in this recording is the Microsoft one. Everything.
Awesome. Yeah. Hot time.
Just to help you out.
Yeah. So the Sunset Override, which was the one with the zombies, and that's horrible. There's a bunch of them with zombies, probably.
Orange zombies.
Orange? Were they orange?
They had lots of orange on it. Like
okay,
it was like
the guy is.
It was like they had fuse power or something.
The guy was skating like my '90s Tony Hawk game, and he's killing zombies at the same time. So that's cool. That's why I liked it, because it made me think of like Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. Blah blah blah. Don't look at his kneecaps. Like yeah.
Well, yeah, I did like that one too, and my joking name for it was Tony Hawk's Dude Bro Shooter.
I remember when I saw it, he also showed a video of his legs, his calves or whatever from all the skateboarding, and they're like carved up to hell. It looked like someone just took a saw and like, just fucking hacked the shit up and didn't get to do it.
Nice. I will say to anyone listening as well, I will slightly say it wasn't your audio levels then. When Anastasia was speaking, she sounded a little quiet on my end, so I did turn it up to get her to the optimal level for your enjoyment.
Oh, okay. Is this better?
No, you sound fine now. I already adjusted you.
Okay, cool.
It was just while you were talking, you were going louder and quieter and louder and quieter, just because I was adjusting the levels, not because of something you had done.
Okay. So, anyway, the Sunset override looked pretty awesome because it looks like that's one thing in zombies is you're always struggling for mobility in games. Like you're always like, oh, we gotta go over there, but there's a million zombies. How are we gonna get from A to B? But here you move around a whole lot and kill zombies at the same time, so it's like, what?
Oh, if you like that, you're gonna love one of Richter's future announcements.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. So that's my first one.
I want to say for Sunset Overdrive, that was easily my favorite trailer I've seen. That was done really well. I laughed several times. Like I really liked that trailer.
I will say that trailer looked amazing.
Yeah.
And I will say, unlike my favorite trailer at E3, which was from the PlayStation one, this one showed off more gameplay.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised.
My favorite one was Magica from one of them from Magica, just because it was like an unemployed wizard sat on the fucking sofa, which was kind of funny, but just because that was my favorite, it's not what I'm most hype up for at all. I was just mentioning that here because that as a benefit to the Microsoft ones for any fanboys listening. Basically, I thought it was great that they actually showed off more gameplay than just look how awesome this cutscene is.
Yeah, I was surprised. I kind of thought they were gonna just do it. So I liked that it was the actual, the trailer and then went into gameplay, and I thought that was really awesome. And it was funny.
Nice.
You and your crate are safe.
I did look them up a little bit previous to E3 and saw some other gameplay stuff on there that they have. So that's also like available if anybody wants to look at it. They had like a little like other showing.
Nice.
Well, a
Although
smaller,
I did
not
laugh
like a extravagant, video.
I don't know. I found it funny just because I've recently been playing Fuse, which was made by Insomniac, which also was making Sunset Overdrive, and they're just like, "Oh, cover mechanic." I'm like, "You mean like the one in that game you made?"
I need to buy that game. Fuse. Is that on PS3?
Yes, it is available now.
Oh, cool. I'll have to buy that. I recommend everyone buys that game. It has Richter Hammer's stamp of approval.
Does he stamp stuff with his head?
Yes. I didn't say seal of approval. I just said I played it.
I thought you approved of it.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. It has its moments.
It has his moment of approval sticker.
Moments of approval sticker. I want that sticker. That's got to be the limited edition one.
How about this boss fight? Not a moment of approval.
And for those of you wondering what happens when Richter Hammer gives something his stamp of approval, he does use his hands to stamp while balancing upside down with one foot like Beast from X-Men while balancing a microphone in his other foot. That's what I imagine.
That sounds about right.
No, the Sunset trailer did look pretty fun.
Yep. All right, so another one I thought was pretty cool. This one wasn't shown, so I'm just and I'll talk about that later. Anyway, they showed a little bit of gameplay and stuff from The Witcher 3, which I thought looked really pretty, and I thought it was kind of cool how they put in. This is gonna sound dumb, but like hunting elements. I know you're hunting a giant monster, so I was trying to avoid saying that. But like where he's like the griffin was there and he shot it with the crossbow, which made it bleed, and then you could track the blood to its like house because it would, you can't catch it, it's flying and you're running through a forest. But that was kind of neat that they gave him like a almost detective vision, and you can like track footprints and blood and trails and stuff. And I'm like, that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, I'm going to say that makes perfect sense. You could have used that word of hunting stuff, because I've seen some hunting games, it's got hunting mechanics, and all this is just shoot it with a gun.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's not hunting, that's shooting with a gun. I want to actually track this and hunt.
My favorite hunting game was Oregon Trail.
That's an awesome game.
Mine was Duck Hunt.
My favorite meat is human.
Mine was Duck Hunt.
The
dog needs a spin-off game.
Oh, good lord. A-hole Dog Troll Simulator 4000.
It might be as good as Goat Simulator.
That's true. But I thought... Oh, yeah.
No, so you go.
Oh, I also thought it was kind of neat that it seemed like the quests will like overlap each other, because he was like tracking the griffin, because that was, I guess, his main quest, and he ran across like people harassing a lady and so he like killed those guys and then ran off on his way. And I thought it was kind of cool that it's like, oh well, you're doing this quest and you have time for that, but you can also wander and do this stuff. Like, oh, you happen to cross a mugging, you can help out, or you could just be like, yeah, forget this. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of neat.
It's always great when they do stuff like that in games, so you got more stuff you can actually do if you choose to.
Yeah.
Which, that's always fun.
I love watching muggings.
Watching
You can watch
weird
muggings
title,
today
this one, right?
here in Gangsterville, New York.
I said watching or doing?
Hey, I can multitask. I can watch one mugging while doing my own.
Yeah. Give me that book, Jim. Swear to me.
Oh man.
It steals lunch money.
And his lists.
Well, I burn his list.
You may take my stash, but you'll never take my lists.
Poor Jim.
I know.
Who was, as I tweeted for people who follow me on Twitter, which is unlikely, I did tweet a picture of James Phoenix in Punch-Out!
Oh man, I need to see this. I didn't see that.
But yeah, like I said, that game
I'm
was
totally not doing it right now.
You're doing it right now to see who it is, aren't you?
Yeah.
Nice. But is it my game?
Yes, it is your game.
Ooh, I'm going to mention one which I'm sorry if this was one of yours, Rick.
That's fine.
Scalebound. A game where the player fights giant dragons and other monsters, also made by Platinum Games.
Mm-hmm.
New project, Microsoft described Scalebound as follows. And yes, I did write down a little bit of notes for this. The next game adventure from critically acclaimed developer Platform Games and renowned game-based director Hideki Kayami, just because I wrote it down doesn't mean I can pronounce it. Scalebound transports you to a distant, hostile world. You come face-to-face with fearsome creatures, including a formidable dragon, and the bond you forge with this awesome predator will prove crucial to the survival of both worlds. Check out the trailer now. That looks badass. That did look badass. Scalebound.
That did look really cool. It looked well, considering he had it looked like he could become like part dragon or something with the armor.
Yep.
So I was jokingly like, "Oh, it's Dragonheart the game." Like probably made a pact with the dragon because it looked like that one dragon's on his side, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that game looked really cool too. And I now see the picture of James Phoenix and Punch-Out. That's awesome. Oh. And if anyone hasn't seen it, it's Von Kaiser. And I should have thought of that.
Yeah, the hair, the mustache. Because, yeah, like I tweeted below, I recently got a benefit of, because they were doing the thing where they give you money on the premium thing.
Yeah.
I had £5 on there, I couldn't find anything else to buy, and I was like, I'll get the original Punch-Out, I like that. When I saw that, I instantly tweeted of, yes, that looks like, when did Add James Phoenix become a boxer?
Man.
But no, Scalebound was mine. Over to Pew Pew. Over to Pew Pew. Over to Pew Pew. Did we lose Pew Pew?
Maybe.
Are you there? Are you there, Stace? Stacy? No, she's disappeared. We currently lost Stacy.
Oh. She'll get back in maybe. Okay, I can run through another something then. While we're waiting for her. I don't think this was shown at the conference, or if it did, it was shown in the first few minutes. But I'll just do two quick ones together that were related. But they showed a trailer for season 2 of Killer Instinct, and the first character's TJ Combo. and I'm totally excited for that. Just because back in the day, when I used to I would usually watch my friend play it, and we would just talk around and mess up because he was way better. He would always pick a lot because you could do team battle and you could have the same character, so he'd have a team of TJ combos, and I was just like in the trailer he doesn't look quite as cool as he used to, but I'm excited to see him, and at the end of it, the teaser really seems to be that the next character reveal is going to be Cinder.
Nice.
And the other thing was that they had Ken Lobb out there, who was one of the people that headed up the first original KI. But he said they were bringing back Phantom Dust, which is like a third-person action adventure game that was on the original Xbox. And while partially I'm like, yay, that's kind of cool, unfortunately I hold something against that game that's not its fault at all. But around the time I first played the demo of that, I also played the demo of Metal Wolf Chaos, and I wanted that to come out, but Phantom Dust came out in the US and not Metal Wolf Chaos, and so I didn't like blame Phantom Dust, but they were like right next to each other. I'm always like, we had you, but we could have got better.
Nice. My other one of mine, which was short, was Conker the Squirrel. Is by Rare. It's officially appearing in Project Spark, which, if you heard last year's E3 conference, Project Spark is a game which, for me personally, is one of the reasons I want an Xbox One. It just looks amazing. It really does look amazing. I can't wait for Project Spark. I like creative games.
Yeah, that one I wish I could have played more. Because I had the beta for Windows 8.1, but my laptop killed itself, so I have not been able to actually try it, which makes me sad.
We are currently having issues getting Anastasia back into the call. I don't know if she can join when it's on the air.
I thought she could, but I don't know.
I'm going to try inviting her.
Okay.
But yeah, what did you?
Oh.
But what did you think of Project Spark?
That looked awesome. I know that I remember reading that they created like weird stuff in that, like not original, but like the original Star Fox. They actually remade that entire game in that game, and I'm like, that's awesome. Someone's just like, you know what? I'm gonna remake that game. And it's like, that's really good. Well, it reminds me of like Little Big Planet 2, where like the creation power tools are so powerful they could like recreate other games in entirely different genres.
Like the Legend of Zelda, it's like dungeon crawl, and it's like it actually goes up. I love that crap. I really do love that shit.
It's like, wow, someone actually did that. That's really impressive.
But did you want to take your next? Do you want to do your next one, or we're just trying to get Stacey back? Will it be DLC? I haven't waited.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were going to take it, so I was trying to.
I gave it to you because it was. Okay. You're the host, so.
Okay, yeah, and then probably the greatest DLC ever created had a trailer. The Dead Rising 3 DLC. Here, let me pull up the name that Chris, aka the Mole, graciously typed out for me because it's crazy awesome. Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition DX Plus Alpha. Yes. And they showed the trailer of that, and that looks so awesome because it's basically Dead Rising but as an arcade game. So I'm assuming it's all the zombie killing, and it's 4-player online. I don't know who the girl is. Haven't played Dead Rising 3. I don't know how she factors in, but Frank West, so it doesn't matter who the other people are. And you get costumes from other Capcom franchises. Like they had Frank West dressed up as Hagar, and I saw
Kuma.
Yeah, and they had the Kuma. Oh, and then one that I thought was awesome was someone was dressed up as the Power Stone version of Falcon or Fokker, if you play the Japanese one, in Power Stone. And I was like, wow, someone else remembers that game. Yay. and they have like super moves, and I was like, dude, I want to play that. Like literally after they showed that trailer, I was like, I almost left my house to go buy the system and Dead Rising 3 because I'm like, that looks so amazing. I need to buy that. And they also they also surprise and they're like, oh yeah, and that's you can buy that right now, and it's apparently $10, and I'm like, wow, they like announced DLC and like, oh, and you can go buy it right now, and I'm like, that's really cool.
Yep. Which it did look pretty damn awesome. That Super Ultra Dead Rising 3 Arcade Remix Hyper Edition DX Plus Alpha. Because who wants to shorten that down?
Yeah.
Well, that looks too amazing to shorten down.
Well, the way they did it too in the trailer was awesome. Where it's like Dead Rising 3, and it just kept adding the stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that trailer is well worth watching.
It is.
Any other ones that you thought were cool?
Give us one sec.
She almost in there.
I was trying to try to help Stacy.
Okay.
But there was a few.
I'm surprised she hasn't gotten back in here.
She can't. It's like she typed below. She was unable to load a web page, the simplest web page, after it kicked her out. I think basically her internet basically went. And then it was unable to get her in here. But one I was excited for, just because I'll mention this because I don't think Stacy was that interested in it. The upcoming Xbox One exclusive Fable Legends, which is getting a multiplayer beta this fall. Fable Legends is a pretty big departure from what Fables normally is, in my opinion, because they're focusing on cooperative play, like 4 people join forces, top-down. It's almost Diablo with Fable, at least to me. That's how I experienced it.
I think the top-down was more the other side, not the 4. Because I think it looked like the 4 people it was more like third person behind the back.
Good point. But it's like they added Diablo elements to it and other games like that. But it looks like a great game. Now, it has been argued, does it look like a great Fable game? No, but it looks like a game which was pretty good, and then they added the Fable license to get in more people to buy it, which totally fucking works. Because, in my opinion, like, look at Skylanders. The reason Skylanders have been so successful is because when it first launched, they added Spyro in the title, so people would rush out and buy it if they were a Spyro fan as well.
Yeah.
That type of stuff does work. I'm not going to insult it for that. I mean, come on. Who would have bought Mario Kart on SNES if it hadn't been Mario?
That's true.
Who would have bought Paper Mario if it hadn't been Mario? Admittedly, some. Admittedly, some, but I'll admit I bought some of those games mainly because of the person attached to it. Like, I'm not a Dynasty Warriors fan. I know you are, which is great. I'm really hyped up for Hyrule Warriors and the Gundam one that's coming out. But I don't know if I'm going to buy the Gundam one. But it totally works. But what did you think about Fable Legends?
I thought that looked really cool. I also, it should be noted that I liked the multiplayer in Fable 2, and it wasn't that great. But sorry about that. Anyway, but it looks like they're taking a much better stab at the multiplayer aspect. We're making it like 4-player co-op or whatever, which was pretty cool. And I really thought it looked cool of playing as the villain.
I have to say that's really inappropriate, Rick. You can't let your phone ring, and I heard the answer machine of your wife saying, "Help, I've been stabbed," and you're just like, yeah, this game really takes a stab at it? That's really inappropriate, Rick. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Stabbing women. When you play as the villain.
I'm kidding. It was probably just Marcus broke down, he needs a lift, but this is more important. But no, yeah, I will admit the only Fable game I've played is Fable 1. But I loved it. I just never got the sequels because every time they came out, I hadn't got the system. But I did love Fable 1, where you could get drunk and then just throw up on the outside, and if you ate loads of stuff, you could get my build.
Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, it's definitely different than those, but there was an arcade game that came out, Fable Heroes, which was like a mix between Fable and not exactly Diablo, but it was a similar perspective. So it seems kind of like it's an evolution of that game and not necessarily the core game.
Just because I know not many people will probably... Some people may get this reference, other people may not. When you say that, all I can think in my head, though, is Fable Heroes, Fable Heroes. But I don't know if you know what I was referencing.
I do not.
Sonic Heroes, where they had like the 4-play, where they had like 4 people joined together and didn't have multiplayer. Oh, you can't look. You like to play Sonic, Knuckles, Tails, and stuff all as one team. It's like cool. Oh, sorry, it was 3 people because it was like Team Sonic of Sonic, Knuckles, and Tails. And they had like Team Amy of Amy, Big, and Cheese or Cream, one of the two. And it was like, but then there's no co-op or multiplayer. It's like, the fuck are you doing playing multiple people together and not doing co-op multiplayer?
Wow.
But I did sadly complete that game, and yes, I had all Chaos Emeralds on PS2, on GameCube, and on PS3, and I think and on PS3 via the PS2 download.
Wow, that must have been the best game.
It was, and I just like Sonic. It was not one of his best games. But yeah, Fable Heroes does sound cool, and I will admit though, I'm just going to say one thing which not many people will say. I'm kind of disappointed Lionhead is making enough of Fable.
Mm-hmm.
Only because I really want one game from Lionhead.
What?
I want enough of the movies. I love Fable, like I mentioned, and I put that on my list because the game does look fucking awesome. But I want another the movies. That game was amazing, where it's like theme park or roller coaster tycoon, but you're building a movie studio. Then you put characters in there, and then you get to actually create movies, and you can get costume. It was amazing.
Was it Amazeballs?
It was. Amazeballs!
Yay! It's like she's still here in spirit. But I like the villain aspect because it reminded me kind of like Zombie U, where you like could place the units.
Yeah.
Fable. I'm like, ooh, because that was really fun in Zombie U. You know, raging person next to me notwithstanding, like that mode was really awesome. So I'm hoping it's just as fun.
I was not raging.
I know, you weren't right next to me either.
I am in the call. I was just clarifying for people listening. It wasn't me raging. I very rarely rage at games.
No, it was not. I never play. I only played it couch co-op. I'll put it that way. People can figure out where.
Yeah, and I will say, when I'm on a couch with Richter, we totally make out.
That's true.
That's our version of both of us. Oh God, no.
I'm Robocop and you're Bro Sting, and I'll save you from that cage.
Yes. Oh, amazing. But yeah. But was there any other ones you wanted to talk about?
Well, I would mention Unity, but I'll just save that for Ubisoft.
You can talk about Unity if they mentioned it during that.
They did. They showed it, but I don't know. I'll say I don't have
because it counts.
Yeah. Well, I don't have as much news for like the Ubisoft and EA stuff, so maybe I'll just move that.
Because I know, like when we do the PlayStation one later with James when he gets on, he's gonna mention Battlefield Hardlines, which was shown during, and I was like, part of me wants to say it should be under the EA one because they showed it there first, but I will allow it.
Yeah.
The game looks amazing.
Well, that's fine. I don't know. I'm just me personally. I'm choosing to. I'll just move those.
Yeah, you're doing it so you got more to talk about. The other one.
But I guess two more small things. I'll do one first. But they showed some more of Evolve, and that looked awesome. And they showed the classes, and so I think I'm gonna play as support just because you're play as a robot dude.
Mm-hmm.
and they showed. I don't know if they had showed that monster before, the one that looked like he had like tentacle arms, as like he had arms and then tentacles too. And that looked just really cool. And he was they like shot missiles at him, and it looked like he just slapped them away. And I'm like, oh, that game looks really fun.
Yep. And they've also named the Cthulhu wizard person, isn't it? The Kraken, which you may notice it's also been in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah. Oh, is that what that creature was?
Kind of, yeah. It's like a sea creature. Kind of cool.
Yeah.
They mentioned Devera because there's more than one monster too, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. Yeah, there's one that throws rocks.
Yep.
Hey, I'm back, maybe.
Yay! We have a Geeky Girl back. And thank you for joining us for XGR. No, I'm kidding. If it helps, like I said, we tried to go through the stuff we thought you weren't interested in first, just because we figured that would be better, and it paid off. Worth mentioning, the beta and DLC for Evolve are coming to Xbox One first, so Xbox fans, get it on that system if you've got an Xbox One.
Yeah, and they also don't they get an exclusive beta? It said.
Yeah, except for Richter and Crispy, because I know you guys are Xbox fans, which is fair enough. Cool for you guys. Don't get it on that system just because I want to play you. One is the loneliest number that you'll ever do.
You can play with Marcus Shadow.
Then two can be as bad as one. Yeah.
Like, I'm gonna be the girl with the dog. And then he'll get it killed, and it'll be like, oh, that's my bread and butter.
Yeah, and we are talking Evolve.
Yes.
Okay. Oh. Yeah, because I totally was into that game, totally want it, and play you guys.
Nice.
Yeah.
Of course, I kind of want Mole to be the monster so everybody can, like, I feel like he'd be a really good villain. Not that we don't want to, like, gank him or anything with everybody, but I feel like the way Mole is, he could be, like, and, like, give us the best challenge, you know, of, like, a monster.
Hey Stacy. Or when she's, like, the first person looking around, what? Amaze balls! As he jumps off and slams down into it.
No, you'll probably be like, hey Stacy, I'm a survivor, I'm not the monster, hey, come here.
That wouldn't work on that game.
I don't know, you'd find a way to make it work.
That wouldn't work because you know I'm the giant monster. That wouldn't be like Call of Duty when you're infected. It's like, Stacey, I'm a survivor, I can't find you, where are you? And you're like, I'm in this little room hiding behind the thank you. Dumb, and I stab her. Because I was infected. And she's like, oh, fuck you. And all I hear is, fuck you, you evil bastard.
You already
like, why would you do that? It's like, XP. Ah!
Well, I'm fairly sure you'd want him to be the monster, because I'm pretty sure that most people, if he were on the human team and they were bleeding out, Mole would use him as a trap. So like, well, the monster wants to finish him off, and he'd hide in the bushes and like throw landmines on the person as they're crawling toward him.
Well, I might do that for you, but I wouldn't do that for Marcus Shadow, as he's probably our best player when it comes to first-person shooters.
That's very true in some
in some alternate universe in which fans.
In the mirror universe, that's extremely true.
Yeah, that's from another alternate timeline of when Richter got so annoyed playing Resident Evil Operation Raccoon City that he snapped his control pad in half and it electrocuted his hands, and he can no longer play games.
I did watch a 30-second clip or something of a Walking Dead episode where she shot some dude's dick off, and so he would howl and make a whole lot of noise while it would attract the zombies and eat him. Everybody kind of slipped away. Nice.
My next bit of news, because like we said, Evolve did look awesome. Yeah. This one's smaller, man. I've done with all of mine. Is Dragon Age Inquisition? The premium content is coming first to Xbox systems.
Oh well.
What do you mean, oh well? It's good for the Xbox people.
No, I'm saying oh well as in it's good for the Xbox, but I probably won't get it on the Xbox, so oh well for me.
Yeah, we have to wait longer like we do with Call of Duty, and they're going to have to do with some other ones, which is fair enough. I don't mind that, although I do say it annoys me how many games are now doing that, where it's like this console will get the DLC first, this one on console will get the DLC first. It's like, no. Why? Oh. Why are you doing that? Because all you're doing is hurting your own game, because you're guaranteeing that the sales on the other systems won't be as big, because the people with both will go on the other one.
I did
least-
have actually quite a thing of that because when I did because I bought 2 games just recently, the Watch Dogs and the Assassin's Creed 4, and it's like, well, like what system do you want on? I said, well, I'll probably get on PlayStation 3 or 4. Well, if you get it on PlayStation 4, you get 60 extra minutes of gameplay. I'm like, okay, given how long these games should be, that shouldn't be a substantial increase, but okay.
Wait, extra gameplay in the new Assassin's Creed?
No, but I'm saying as long as these games are supposed to be, a 60 minutes shouldn't be a substantial increase. I was just like,
60 minutes.
whatever.
60 minutes should be a substantial increase because it's 1 hour. It's literally 1 hour extra thing. And bear in mind, they say 60 minutes. That's on average usually, which means if you suck balls, hey, you're gonna get 2 or 3 hours worth of gameplay out of that.
No, because I side quest everything, and did you not see like my shitty ass like ninja skills in Watchdog where I had to do the same mission like 6 times over because I'm such a horrible ninja? So like 1 hour of gameplay for me is like, I don't know, probably 3 or 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm not on about you in particular. I'm saying like, say like, I don't know, the Batman Arkham games, they could say, okay, we're going to give you an extra 60 minutes of story. What that means is it's an extra 60 minutes for most players. Now, if you're really good, it's less, but if you're really shit, it's more. But still, it's kind of cool because you get an extra something you love. When was too much of a good thing ever a bad thing?
It doesn't say if it's story or not.
Well.
I just imagine that it's an extra side quest.
Well, except for that sexy calendar you made, Rick. But besides that, and that one was good up until after December when you just added like an extra 6 months that didn't exist. Like it was December and it was like Monster Hunter month and stuff, and it's like, wait, that's not a month. It says now.
Smarch is a month.
Yeah, lousy Smarch weather. These podcasts have way too many pop culture references, especially towards Simpsons and Stephen Hawking and William Dafoe.
Yes.
And
no,
not
all
Jeff
those things you're not
Goldblum.
allowed to talk about.
Yeah, but I will say as well, they did announce new DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Wait for it. Titanfall, Jeff Goldblum DLC.
That would be awesome.
Every game needs a Jeff Goldblum DLC. Or, to complement it so both me and Rick will buy it, it needs both Jeff Goldblum, who comes with a giant mech in every game.
There you
That's
go.
why the Jeff Goldblum watches you poo face everywhere.
And to please Stacy, it will be Jeff Goldblum, a giant mech, and a bucket of soap and water to clean up graffiti.
No, fuck you. No, if it was Flood, on the other hand, maybe.
And I will say, I'm on the Xbound Entertainment one, which is why you're seeing the logo right now. I will say I totally love you guys' logos.
Oh.
Of Richter's just his little cartoony, bald, adorable little head, because Richter is the cartoony, adorable little member of the Xbound, and Stacy's cartoony one does look awesome too. So yay!
Yay.
Although in the PlayStation one, when I'm on my normal account, it'll just be the Gaming Zone logo, but fuck it, advertisement.
Yeah, why not? Yes, I don't know how photogenic you are.
Unless I used a picture that I had handmade by Akira Toriyama when I asked him to draw me. And he did, and he drew me, and he put me in Dragon Ball Z and stuff, which is cool, although I don't know why the Japanese for mole is Boo, but still. I'm gonna eat you up! Like, but no, did you guys have anything else for the Xbox One?
Yes,
Did you have any, Stacy? Okay.
I did. I'm going to click it now. I think. Oh, no, I don't want to change the name of it.
That's how Marcus Shadow plays games.
Changing the name?
No, just, I'm going to click this now. Okay, I'm going to go over here and pick this up.
No,
Yeah.
no, not on the computer. Okay, sorry, there's my cat. It's like, I'm going to walk on all their keys now.
okay.
Oh, that's how you turn into Freakazoid.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't think they talked about Project Spark on there, but that's like totally the one thing that I really want from Microsoft.
They did. They added conkers.
Okay, because like that looks so freaking awesome. It's like I really want it. I really want to create my whole world and own levels and everything.
It does.
That's like.
We need to get it and create the X-Pound on there.
And then I want to create. You guys have to get it too, so you can do all my crazy levels.
To be fair, if we made the X-Pound based on what the X-Pound has become nowadays, wouldn't it just be a statue of Jim turning his back on us, and then like random like William Dafoe figures and like mech suits? And
yes. Well, I was gonna have Jim would, I don't know, somehow have a big stash. Marcus Shadow would have a giant head. Stacy would of course have a bobblehead.
I'm looking at what you've created with the Fry meme face. Not sure if James Phoenix or Yosemite Sam.
There you go.
Not sure if Punch Out Boxer or.
Yes. But
yeah,
okay.
Project Spark. That'll be like my new like Minecraft project, except like Sparkness.
Nice.
Because I'm gonna torture you guys with like horrible levels and stuff and like death spikes and be like, why? Why would you do this? Because I can.
Yeah. How about you, Rick? Did you have any more?
Yeah, just real quickly. When they showed the indie games, I had to look up the name for it later, but there was one.
There's Indiana Jones games coming?
No, but it's called Cuphead, and if you saw the little montage that they had, it's the one that looked like a 1930s Disney cartoon.
Does it have DLC?
I have no idea.
Can we get 2 girls, 1 Cuphead?
There you go. But, I don't know what it's about, but just the art style looked really awesome because that's as far as I can remember, that's a fairly untapped visual genre of like those old cartoons like Steamboat Willie and stuff. I mean, it was in color, but it was like that era of cartoons, and I'm like, that actually the visuals look really neat.
I can totally understand that. It's like when I saw Epic Mickey when they first announced and they showed the artwork and concept art, the visualness of it did attract me to it. So I'm like, okay, I'm waiting to see what the gameplay is like, but I'm interested. That kind of stuff can hook you unless it turns out to be like some games, not going to mention names, Cough, PlayStation 1 of Entwined Cough. Basically, the art style is all there is there. There's no substance. But
yeah.
If it's good with a great art style, that can be amazing.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays. It looked kind of like a Mega Man-y type game, but I don't, just because it showed the guy jumping and shooting. But I just like the art style. I don't know anything else about it yet. So
jumping and shooting. Was it jumping and shooting Mega Man style, like you said, or was it Halo or Call of Duty jumping?
No, it was like a side scroll. It was.
I had to make that reference once. Now, there was stuff we've left off this we were personally weren't interested in. I thought the Crispy would take them, like new Halos announced and new Forzas and stuff, which, if you're interested in those, cool. And Call of Duty DLC is going on there first, but I don't see why they announced that. It's been that way for like the last 10 years.
Yeah. Oh man, that trailer for Advanced Warfare, I didn't like that trailer.
Fair enough.
I'm just gonna throw this out real quick. But like that guy had his arm stuck in it. I'm like, why doesn't he cut off his arm? It's better than dying. And then he like goes off and then it blows up, and I'm like, okay, well that was kind of a waste of a guy. That was silly. And then like the debris hit the soldier, and I'm like, or the the player, I guess. And I'm like, oh okay, this is that Call of Duty campaign moment where it's like, oh, you're powerless in something, and then they drag him away, and like it's like, oh, and his arm was cut off, and I'm like, oh, so then yeah, they should have cut off the other guy's arm so he would have lived. But okay, whatever. Yeah. I was like, just show the powered armor.
Yeah.
I don't want this nonsense.
Yep. And I will also say then, before we go out then, of my final thought, I just want to give, and I'm using this correctly, not ironically like we have been, but I just want to give a big to Microsoft, because this year, again, something people overlook, Microsoft are listening to people, which people don't get that. People are like, oh, Expo, and ha 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 ha, or oh, it's Microsoft, always on, and all that, and they've listened to people with that stuff, and this is a great example, because in my opinion, if I had to sum up the Microsoft press conference in like a single like sentence or quickly. It would just be game boom, game boom, game boom, game boom. Unlike the last E3 where it was everything but games and people complained, and rightfully so. This year they went out of their way to show you so many games and make it just about games that I give full props to them. Congratulations, Microsoft, you impressed me.
Yay! Clap, 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 clap.
I think that was well done. And yeah, I think the only non-gaming thing really was they mentioned that the Halo one came with the like live-action web show or something.
I would argue
the only mention of something non-gaming.
Yeah, I would argue that it's to do with gaming, as Halo is to do with games. But I don't mind the odd mention. Like we'll get to that during the PlayStation one. That there was something that they mentioned non-gaming in that impressed me. But because the majority of the press conference is games, that's cool. The last Xbox one with what the fuck was it? The Surface or the Tab? What the Glass or?
Oh yeah, Glass.
Google Glass.
And most of it was like, look, you can play all these games if you have this, and it confused some people of what you were meant to do with it. And there was so many stuff that wasn't to do with games. Where this time, because so much of it was games, it was just impressive. Now I will admit they didn't announce. On the plus side, and none of them have done too much of this, but Microsoft didn't announce anything that was amazingly, whoa, I didn't know they'd ever announced that. Besides Crackdown for You, which I understand. But I meant personally, there was nothing there I didn't expect to see as such. So it wasn't like suddenly they were announcing, oh, this that you didn't expect, which is kind of cool. But at the same time, it's not doing that. What they showed was substantial enough that it carried the presentation to the point where you were hyped up for stuff that you already kind of expected, which that's a good thing, because not everything needs a great, like, the year, I think it was Xbox, when they said, oh yeah, GTA's going on Xbox, and the guy lifts up his arm, he's got a GTA tattoo and stuff. You don't need them every year.
Yeah.
It's great to just get information and a celebration of games. I realised that rant was a little long. I don't know if people realised that was a positive thing, that I was giving praise to the conference.
I don't know.
But that was my funnel for that.
Microsoft, the internet will just be mad at you regardless.
Yeah.
Thanks, internet.
Yeah, that was my thought anyway. That was my overall impression. I don't know about you guys.
It's good. It held my interest, and there's not nearly as much old men talking about things you can't see.
Yeah, I thought the conference was actually really well done because, yeah, as you put it, yeah, it was like game boom, and I think they definitely had a much larger focus on games, and it's good to see that because I'm hoping that they did actually, it seems like they listened from last year and were like, okay, we're gonna focus on games, and that's what I want to see, and also, in general, it wasn't just the Microsoft one. I thought in a lot of ways so far what I've seen was a lot better about, like, oh, here's this game. That'll come out in 2016 or something. A lot of it, I was glad that they, not just Microsoft and Sony, of course, did this, and EA and all them, but just in general, I was really happy with the amount of stuff like, oh yeah, we announced this game. Guess what? It's playable right now in the consoles would be there, or like it's on the show floor, or you can buy this right now tonight or something. And I'm like, that was cool.
Well, a lot of it was. I will say with the EA one, the one that pissed me off with the EA conference was Star Wars Battlefront, and it's people talking about why they like Star Wars. I'm like, I already know, I like Star Wars. Fuck off. A conference that features Battlefront with me, as people who listen to any of our podcasts know, I'm a big Star Wars fan, and I'm hyped up for Battlefront. I left that conference really excited to pre-order Battlefield Hardlines. How? How do you do that?
That kind of silly.
That was good. But like you said, there was enough of not doing that. Like the last year one where it was just tech demos, and it's like, well, that's great, but I don't care what your tech can do unless I see what it is doing in a game.
Yeah, I felt like last year, like pretty much every game was like, ooh, look at this. Well, sometime that'll come out, and I was surprised at anything, let alone, I don't know, maybe about half it seemed. Yeah. There was a lot of surprises, like with Battlefield. I mean, we'll probably touch on that in the other one, but yeah, like when it's like you can play it right now, and the beta is right now, and I'm like, wow, that's actually really cool.
But I will say that's a problem I had with overall with E3.
Mm-hmm.
So many games, they announced the betas, and they were like, and now you can sign up for it on the web page below right now. And the second they did that, those web pages crashed.
Yeah, they did.
I had to spend like over 10-20 minutes spamming the fuck out the Battlefront page to get on there to get the beta, or to
nice.
try and sign up for the beta. But how about Pew Pew? Pew. Okay, I think we lost Stacy again.
Yay. Okay.
But it's fine, cause yeah, it's fine because we were rounding up anyway.
Yeah. It's so. I'd like to thank.
I'm still here.
Oh, there you are.
Oh, you're still there. You just gymmed us.
Sorry. No, it just my headset turned off, but I turned it back on. But I was saying, the people last time, they heard our last XGR, and they said, those people on XGR, they talked about games coming out, being announced too early. We shouldn't do that. So, let's do shit that's going now, right now, soon. Yeah.
Exactly.
That's because they heard us.
And I will also say, predicting the internet. If anyone ever replies to this video, there's going to be someone out there who's too stupid to realize that Microsoft has improved, or look at this and just go, oh, you're praising Microsoft? Then why aren't you using Bing Hangout?
Because Bing sucks and your mom sucks, that's why. She's coming over later tonight.
Is there a Bing Hangout?
No, there's not, but it's because it's Google, which is Bing's.
Yeah, I know.
I know someone's going to be saying that, don't you?
Yeah. Bing is awesome. Bing gives me free money, so I don't mind them.
I don't mind Bing because, to be fair with Bing and Google, it's like when we had Google, and we still have them now, but no one takes them seriously, Yahoo. And before that, when we had Ask Jeeves and all the other ones, it's good to have multiple search engines because they give you different results. And Google is paid by certain people to promote their stuff first. Same thing with Bing and stuff like that. So it's cool. It's good for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You just make me hate Bing. Like, I wouldn't hate it nearly as much if it wasn't for you.
How do I make you hate Bing? What, by saying it's a valid competitor?
No, by saying Bing it and other things like that.
I didn't start Bing it. You just got frustrated when you heard it on a film or a TV show, and you were like, oh, someone said Bing it instead of Google it. Oh, that hurts me. And then I just started to use it to annoy you.
I'm pretty sure you're the source of everything that annoys me.
Pretty sure not. I don't think he birthed Jim.
Amazeballs!
You don't know. Jim's mom gets around.
Oh, that's true.
Jim's mom having sex. And last one before we go. Richter's time! No, it's monopolized!
No. You've been monopolized.
You still need a t-shirt with that cartoon head on, and it just needs a caption like a wrestling t-shirt. Monopolize this, and your finger up.
Yes. I need to make that now. But yes, thank you everyone for joining us. Thank you to two other people here, Chris A.K. The Mole, and Anastasia Laserbeam.
It was our pleasure. You were a lovely host.
Oh, thank you. And so, as always, if you have any questions or comments, please fill them out in the little comment section below. And thank everyone for listening. And there will be other specials for of course, the Sony conference, and the normal one will be up in our, well, when we normally record them. We are going to cover the third-party ones. So.
Yeah, the Sony one is later today.
Yeah.
The third-party one is Wednesday. We've got another one on Saturday for Nintendo with Marcus Shadow, and we also possibly the Wednesday afterwards we might do another one just to finish off E3, because I realised E3 goes an extra day or two when we're recording on the Wednesday, so we might want to fill in them. Or did you just want to do an extended news and leave topic and just do catch up and the rest of E3 just to finish it off?
That sounds like a good idea.
Because we still need catch up, because people are wondering what the hell are they playing this week.
I know.
Spoiler alert. It's Punch Out. No.
All right. Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everybody.